There you go, season done and dusted. Close, but no cigar in the end. Close to winning that first domestic double. City take the praise today. They just had a little bit more than United. We knew that was going to be the case. We knew we were going to struggle with the quality and depth that they have got. In the second half there, you could see we were struggling. We were bringing on Weghorst and McTominay. They were bringing on Mahrez and Foden. That's the difference, and that's why City are ahead of Manchester United right now. Pep has talked about Manchester United coming back. We are coming back. We are closing that gap. And today we made City look quite average, to be honest. From what I've watched City over the last few weeks and where they've been taking teams apart, yeah, some people could say they took the foot off the gas over the last few weeks when they won the league, but that was their strongest team today, fully rested. Manchester United missing players like Martial, Antony, and like Ten Hag has said constantly through the season, we've never had a full squad to pick from apart from one game. We've just been missing and have no cohesion up front at all, and that showed today. Again, we actually had more shots than Manchester City today, but we only had 3 on target out of 13. That tells you exactly where Manchester United need improvement. Ten Hag has just done his post-match press conference, and he has been batting off a few more serious questions. It has been a progressive, positive season for Manchester United, but he's going to get asked questions on the summer transfers, the ownership. Is this going to hamper? I mean, the key question there was: have you got 2 plans for this summer? Have you got one with one takeover? Have you got one with the other takeover? It's a simple answer from Ten Hag was: there's only one plan, that's to make Manchester United better. But we all know that under certain ownership, and if the ownership isn't sorted, that may change. We're hearing names being brandished about strengthening Manchester United, certain players leaving the football club. This is going to be a very, very busy few weeks for Manchester United now. I think Ten Hag will be relieved that is his last press conference. I think he'll be relieved that media stuff is all done and put away now, and he can concentrate on what he wants to do. But what can he do? That's the key question there now. In that game there today, there were questions asked why Garnacho didn't start. Would he have made a difference? Because when Garnacho came on, it was a different ballgame. Manchester United carried more of a threat. He was more direct, whereas Sancho was dropping back, holding the ball, passing it backwards. It was more conservative approach with Sancho on the field. Weghorst and, like I said, McTominay come on is a different ball game to what City have got on the bench. We actually handled City quite well today and nullified their threat in major parts. But you can only mark so many players. Taking De Bruyne out to a certain extent and marking Haaland out the game, which I thought we handled quite well. But then you've got a Gundogan, who is a big occasion player. This man just scores goals on the big occasion. He just comes for City and actually just makes their team. That's how key it was. And Pep Guardiola in his press conference was asked about Gundogan's contract. I'm sure and I'm convinced that Pep will be doing everything he can to keep Gundogan, because he was the difference there today. Yes, questions are going to be asked again about that second goal. Gundogan, if you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the lottery. Hit the shot, it bounced twice, it went through quite a few players, but in the end, there's Rafa, unlucky Rafa today, mate. We'll get in the summer. Rafa, there, just signing the shirt there for us. Last player out. Everyone, as you've seen on our Instagram, has gone now. A bit dejected, downbeat, but I think they can pick themselves up and be proud of the performance today, because we competed. And Ten Hag then was talking in his press conference about how close that game was. Like I said, I can't remember anything clear cut for City. A worldie in 12 seconds from a speculative punt upfield, and then quick again in the second half. 5 minutes into the second half, took the wind out of us completely. And having to go again twice against Manchester City is probably the toughest task in world football right now. The best team in the world, Ten Hag called Manchester City. It's hard to argue with that if they go and beat Inter Milan this weekend. It really is. And the fact that we held them in that game and more than held our own. In the end there, we could have actually got a draw and gone to extra time. We showed that City are gettable. We showed that their best team there can be countered. We can actually compete at the highest level. It's that mentality that needs to stay through week in and week out. But one thing that is certain, and it would have been a question if I did get a chance to ask it to Eric Ten Hag, would be the area that the investment needs to come in this summer. It's quite clear, like I said, 13 shots, only 3 on target in the game again. It's not enough. We're not challenging the keepers enough. We're not scoring enough goals, and that's been clear in the league this season. The defence, like today, has carried this team forward throughout the season. It's been immense. Credit to them. Questions on De Gea, obviously, they're going to be asked now, but that defence has been immense this season. The chopping and changing and the numerous partnerships we've had, different fullbacks and everyone playing their part. We've just not been able to hit the back of the net as much as what we should, and to take the pressure off the defence and really compete. Once again, like I said, that's where Manchester United need the investment. That's where it has to be. It has to be up front in the forward areas. We can see how far we've come. We can see the progression. Ten Hag has called it a fantastic season from where we've come from, and I agree with him. I do. To go from the worst Premier League season we've had in the history of the Premier League, you've got to look at it and go, well, yeah, finishing third comfortably, having a trophy in the bag, and being narrowly beaten by the so-called best team in the world in an FA Cup final is a very progressive season. But if you do not give Ten Hag the tools, like Pep Guardiola, for instance, gets tools to constantly improve your team, we have got a manager here now that is here for the future. He's here for the long term. We need to back this manager now. And if there's an ownership model in place or not, the club still have to find some way of getting Ten Hag money and getting the players that he wants. Whether it's a Harry Kane, you just have to go to Spurs and say, look, we want him. There's the money. You cannot turn that down. If you want a Declan Rice, if you want these types of players, just go and get them. Be the club that you're supposed to be. Be that big giant club, that juggernaut of world football. Just say, there's the money. We want that player. We want him at United. Give the opposition no chance. Give them no choice. We don't, and we've always sort of, this is where we've fallen down. When it comes to the summer transfer windows, we don't act like a big club. Ten Hag has just put us at that high table again. We're dining with the top level of football again. He's put us there with this squad and no investment in January. So give him the tools to actually take us to that next level. That next level right now is Manchester City, which you've seen today isn't a million miles away. We just need investment in the right areas. He's got the mentality right, which is everything and what is important. The culture, the mentality, that's your foundation. That's the basics. Build on top of that with the quality players. That's your bricks and mortar. And then you're building that establishment. You're building that building that's going to last. That's what we need to do in the summer. That's where Manchester United have fallen short over the years. We've now got a squad that are listening to a manager and are fully invested in this manager's plan. The club needs to be invested in the manager's plan and make that happen. Structure from top to bottom. Today here at Wembley, it was a great occasion. The atmosphere was fantastic. And you know what? Apart from the disrespect that the City fans showed and the arrogance that they are, yeah, they're full of beans. Some will say they deserve to be. But today, one message to finish on. Just remember, we didn't cheat our way to where we are right now. I've said it before, I'm just going to say it again. Yes, they are a great team, but Manchester United are far behind. Back the manager, have a summer, get these players in place for pre-season, let Ten Hag work his magic. That's what's needed now at Manchester United. Going forward, signing off, last vlog of the season. Again, cheers everybody for tuning in. As always, your support, messages have been on point. Again, we'll be back with loads of content over the summer with transfers and obviously the tour, so do stay tuned for that. We'll bring you all the up-to-date information. Hit that subscribe button and that bell notification, because you're going to need to know when the videos are coming and that breaking news happens. Cheers for watching everyone. We're done.